Hi, my name is Leslie Gossett and welcome to Leslie's List. In each episode, I will introduce you to my favorite boutiques, neighborhoods, and standout businesses in the Austin area. Today we are here with Garrett Salpeter, founder of Neufit. Garrett, thanks so much for taking the time to be with me.
Thanks for having me here on the show. It's a pleasure, and we love having you here working with us, and just great to share with the audience.
Yes, I start my morning with you all 3 times a week, and love my workouts. I've been able to recruit some of my closest friends and family, and everybody has rave reviews. So I wanted to take some time to meet with you and hear a little bit about your story and the technology, have you share with the audience what is the Newbie and how did this come to be? I know you have a background in engineering, I think.
That's right, yeah. So the Neubie device that we use here is a direct current stimulation device, and we work with a range of people, from people who are recovering from strokes and spinal cord injuries or sports injuries, orthopedic surgeries, all the way through people like yourself who thankfully are healthy. I mean, originally we had worked together for rehabilitation years ago, but then people who are generally healthy and wanting to kind of supercharge their fitness or optimize their health and wellness or athletic performance. And it's really interesting that that's such a wide range of things, right? And the reason we're able to work with people throughout that whole continuum is because of this common thread that runs throughout all of those aspects, all of those challenges or situations, and that's the nervous system. And it's our nervous system that controls how we function, how we move, whether we experience pain, the way and the rate at which we recover from injuries, and of course our fitness. Literally how much we can activate our muscles is what determines how good of a workout we get. And so when we're talking about the workouts that you're doing, being able to use technology to help you activate your muscles just the same as if you were lifting very heavy weights, but without having to touch any weights at all and have all that risk of injury and all the things that could potentially go wrong. So it's a way to tap into that, but in a much safer and more sustainable way also.
Right. So my understanding is that the machine pulses a certain amount of times per second. Is
Mm-hmm.
that right?
Yeah.
So it's essentially sort of supercharging your workout.
Yeah, absolutely. And so there's pulses. It's a pulse direct current, and there's I'm sure a lot of people have experienced or seen TENS units and little electrical stimulation devices, and those are typically alternating current devices. And this, as a direct current device, those pulses actually have very particular effects on the nervous system that allow for a very powerful form of what we'd call neuromuscular re-education, or literally teaching the nerves to fire more muscle. And that can, if you have it on your biceps, for example, you could just do a minute or two of this movement, and you'd get the equivalent amount of work as if you were lifting very heavy weights. But again, just very, very short period of time.
Yeah, it's very efficient for those that don't have 2-3 hours to be in the gym all day.
Yeah.
So how is the technology different from other technologies that are trying to imitate it?
So that's a good question. A little bit of it has to do with electrophysiology and the engineering of waveforms and things like that. But at a real kind of practical level, the experience is a really profound difference between alternating current devices, so virtually everything else that's out there, and then the Newbie and the technology that we're using. So if we were to take a traditional alternating current device, again, put it on your arm and turn it up to a high enough level to really make a difference, it'd be really interesting because you'd actually be stuck, you'd be locked up as that alternating current, as that signal goes back and forth. It's literally training you to go this way, that way, this way, that way. So it's almost like if you were driving your car and you were hitting the throttle and the brake pedal at the same time. And that is very inefficient, right?
Right.
And it's also potentially kind of risky because you end up training yourself to stiffen your muscles. We want to be more pliable. We want to be better coordinated, and you train yourself to stiffen up and resist your own movements in ways that can actually have some negative effects.
Yeah, right. How is Neufit different than other gyms, and can you speak a little bit to the different services and classes that you offer?
Yeah, for sure. So I think one of the biggest differences is that therapeutic aspect. A lot of people are coming to see us, yes, for fitness, but also to alleviate pain or to overcome injuries or to relearn to to use muscles again that haven't been firing properly from old injuries or surgeries or things like that. And so I think that's one of the biggest differentiating factors is, we've talked about, it's more time efficient and, results, people get really wonderful results. I think that's one thing that really differentiates us is that therapeutic aspect of everything that we're doing. And so a lot of people have that challenge of wanting to train consistently, wanting to get on some sort of regular routine, but they can't stick with it because their back hurts or their knee starts bothering them, and so it's like fits and starts. You can't stick with anything long enough. And so this, because of the therapeutic nature, not only does it help get results, but it's much more sustainable.
Sure, yeah, and it's nice to be able to sort of have under one roof, being able to go from a trainer to a therapist when an issue like that does pop up. So, yeah.
Absolutely, that's our goal, is to be able to kind of blend those two, because we just see it as part of that same continuum.
Right, and then you offer the infrared sauna services, and I know you have bar classes.
Yeah, the bar, so we call it the electric bar, where like a normal kind of ballet bar style, but using the Neubie device to help make sure the correct muscles are working through the entire range of motion, the exercise becomes safer, even more beneficial. And then some other group fitness classes as well. We have electric booty.
Oh yeah, I've been wanting to try it. I've heard a lot about it.
Get those glutes working.
Yeah.
And then other kind of just quick and efficient classes like that.
And what I like about this space too, I know for many people when they go to a gym, especially if they haven't worked out in a long time and they're starting, it can be very intimidating, and there's just a lot of people, and it's a kind of sometimes maybe a see and be seen type of environment. And what I love about the space that you've created here is that it's intimate. There's not a lot of people. Everything is by appointment, and it gives a sense of security and comfort and safety, and it feels like a family. Everybody, even though I train with two different trainers, everybody knows me by name, and it's a nice place to spend so much of my time. So kudos to you for kind of cultivating that energy and environment here.
Thank you so much. I think hearing you say that, I think that validates for me that we are actually doing a lot of the things in terms of creating a culture and environment that I want, that we want. So just to hear you say that warms my heart.
Oh, good, good. Well, what's next on the horizon for Neufit? Are you taking this technology to other parts of the country? Tell us about what plans you have.
So we have a few exciting things in the works here. So we've been getting our technology out into the world. So it is, we have a couple patents on the device and the methods that we use here. And this is kind of our national showroom. So wow. I've been spending a lot of time training and putting together education, certification curriculums for physical therapy clinics, chiropractic offices, hospitals, sports teams.
Wow. Who
are using it. And so one kind of cool thing we've worked with the last two World Series champions, the Washington Nationals and the LA Dodgers. We're using our technology. Several University of Texas here in Austin, their sports department or sports medicine department is using it. So working with more teams, and then we've got some research studies going, looking at everything from muscle hypertrophy to recovery from surgery to how it affects nerve function in MS patients. So we've got some cool things going on there, and we're
so exciting.
Yeah, trying to get the word out.
That's awesome. Well, I'd like to close like I do with each episode by asking, what are some of the words that you live by, or a motto that kind of resonates with you?
That's an awesome question. And for me, I think that the biggest kind of motivating factor behind all of our work is the understanding that we already have within us everything that we need. And that may sound a little corny, but let me give you an example. And so one example is, I was working with a football player, a college football player, who had an AC separation in his shoulder. and he couldn't lift his arm after 5 days of treatment with his athletic training room, couldn't lift his arm after here. So we use the machine, find these spots where his body's protecting because of the injury, and in 10 minutes of working to reset those protective patterns, he's able to get his arm up to here. And the question is, well, why? How could that happen so quickly? Obviously, he didn't heal that fast. Nothing, his shoulder didn't fix that, but he already had that range of motion available to him. He was just preventing himself from expressing it. And so I think there's a lot of ways where we all have more potential, whether it be for fitness and performance, or health, or cognitive ability, or business performance, or showing up better in our relationships. Whatever it is, we have more capacity. And so I think that it helps make whatever our goal is that we're trying to achieve a lot more accessible, to know that it's it's like less intimidating or more within reach to know that this is inside of us. So our motto here is that we help people access the power of their neurology to heal, adapt, and grow. And when we do that, we're tapping into that reservoir of power that we already have inside of us.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much, and thank you for this is such a gift. This technology, I know, has helped heal so many. It's helped heal me and many that I love and that I'm close to. So thanks for all you do, and thanks again for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Yeah.